Breaking news out of Paris. In a shocking turn of events, Marine Le Pen, one of the most controversial political figures in France, has just been sentenced in a devastating corruption case. The verdict? A bombshell that could shake the entire political landscape. Let's start. We're breaking it all down right now. Marine Le Pen, the face of France's far right, the woman who nearly became president, now faces a career-ending moment. A courtroom packed with reporters, political rivals watching closely, and then, boom! The verdict drops. The charge? Fraud on the European taxpayer. The punishment? Silent anger radiated from Marine Le Pen as she exited the Paris courthouse today, long before the final ruling. "It was clear," she said in an interview on French TV tonight, "the judge's aim was to prevent me from running for president." On March 31st, she declared, "This is a dark day for our democracy and our country. Millions of French voters are being denied their preferred presidential candidate. If this isn't a political decision, I don't know what is." The verdict, announced Monday, shocked France, even among those who don't typically align with Le Pen's views. So, what's this all about? At the heart of it, false salaries, misused EU funds, and a scandal that's been brewing for over a decade. Le Pen and her party were accused of setting up a fake employment scheme, claiming money from the European Parliament for assistants who, well, weren't doing what they were paid to do. In the rural Southwest, the BBC spoke with locals who shared concerns. "This whole thing is political, aimed at stopping Le Pen from becoming France's next president," one person said. "I don't agree with her values, but everyone should have the right to run for office." The legal case stems from Le Pen's time as a member of the European Parliament, which ended in 2016. Alongside over 20 members of her National Rally Party, she was convicted of fabricating jobs and contracts to siphon off EU funds, more than £3 million meant for her party's operations in France. As a result, the judge not only banned her from holding political office for 5 years, but also sentenced her to jail. The ruling has sent shockwaves through France, sparking fierce debate. The far right, where Le Pen finds much of her support, sees this as an attempt to rob her of the presidency and thwart her vision of a reformed, stronger France. Meanwhile, critics argue that the case was politically motivated, aimed at silencing her nationalist agenda. Instead of working for the EU, they were allegedly carrying out party work in France, on the taxpayers' dime. And let's just say, Brussels was not amused. We're not talking about small changes here. This alleged fraud scheme is on a scale that will leave you speechless. Over 6.8 million euros in misused funds. Yes, you heard that correctly, almost 7 million euros. This was money meant for legitimate parliamentary work, and instead, it allegedly ended up funneled into Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally Party, formerly the National Front. But here's the kicker. Le Pen wasn't flying solo in this operation. A whole network of party members got entangled in this web of deceit. The funds, intended to serve the public good, were misappropriated for party operations, diverting taxpayers' money into private pockets. And now, it's all coming crashing down. Now, brace yourselves, because here's where things get truly dramatic. The court had a range of potential outcomes: hefty fines, bans from holding public office, even prison time. But what did they do? They didn't just slap her on the wrist. No, the ruling was a political earthquake. Le Pen has been banned from public office for 5 years, essentially delivering a political death sentence. And to add fuel to the fire, there's talk of prison time. Yes, actual jail time. This isn't just a slap on the wrist. This is a career-ending ruling that could shatter her dreams of ever running for the presidency again. But wait, the drama doesn't end here. Le Pen isn't just accepting her fate quietly. Oh no, she's made it clear that she's not going down without a fight. She's already vowed to appeal the decision, launching a full-scale legal battle to clear her name. It's a high-stakes showdown now, Le Pen's political future hanging in the balance, and she's ready to throw everything she's got at it. This case isn't just about fraud. It's about the very heart of French politics, and how far someone is willing to go to protect their career and their ideology. Hold on tight. this ride is far from over. Le Pen had her eyes set on the 2027 presidential election. On Monday, a French court dealt a major blow to far-right leader Marine Le Pen, barring her from running in the 2027 presidential election after convicting her of embezzlement. The ruling is seen as a seismic development that could heighten global tensions over the role of the judiciary in political matters. At 56, Le Pen, leader of the National Rally RN party, is a dominant figure in Europe's far-right movement and a leading contender in the upcoming presidential race. This court decision represents a significant setback for her, with potential far-reaching consequences for French politics. It threatens to disrupt the race to succeed President Emmanuel Macron, further weakening his already fragile minority government, which has been battered by a series of crises in recent months. This verdict is also expected to inflame growing international outrage among right-wing leaders who view unelected judges as overstepping their bounds and interfering with democratic processes. In a televised interview on TF1, Le Pen strongly denied the charges, calling the ruling politically motivated and vowing to appeal immediately. Although she acknowledged that, for now, she was out of the race for 2027, she insisted that her fight for the future would continue. She came dangerously close to victory in 2022. And with Macron term limited, many thought this was her moment. But with this sentencing, that dream is crushed. A ban from public office means she cannot run. The far-right's biggest name is now politically paralyzed. Or is she? If you think Le Pen is just going to accept this, think again. She's already calling this a political assassination, claiming the French establishment and Brussels are conspiring to silence her. This afternoon, a resolute Le Pen made her way to her party's headquarters outside Paris, announcing plans to launch an appeal. Her supporters have started an online petition to rally behind her. Should her appeal fail, the focus will shift to Jordan Bardella, Le Pen's 29-year-old protégé, who is gaining popularity in the polls, but is seen by some as too inexperienced for the presidential battle ahead. France's divisions, already deep before today's ruling, now seem even more pronounced. Some believe justice has prevailed, while others are convinced that the French judicial system, along with the establishment, is trying to thwart the will of the people. Expect appeals, rallies, fiery speeches. Le Pen will make sure her supporters see her as a victim rather than a fraudster. And guess what? That strategy might work. This isn't just about her. This is about the entire far-right movement in France. Le Pen's 5-year ban from holding public office cannot be lifted through an appeal, although she will retain her parliamentary seat until her term concludes. Additionally, she was sentenced to 4 years in prison, with 2 years suspended and the remaining 2 to be served under home detention. She was also fined €100,000, $108,200. However, these penalties will not be enforced until her appeals process is completed. Billionaire Elon Musk, who has previously advocated for the impeachment of U.S. judges, blocking President Donald Trump's policies, and expressed support for European far-right leaders, has suggested that there is an establishment plot behind Le Pen's ousting. Without Le Pen at the helm, National Rally is in chaos. Who takes her place? Can they still win without her? And most importantly, do her supporters stay or abandon ship? Her party's survival is now hanging by a thread. And let's be real, this isn't happening in a vacuum. There have been instances of immediate political bans in France since the passage of toughened anti-corruption laws in 2016, but Le Pen supporters accused judges of policing politics. Arnaud Benedetti, a political analyst, said Le Pen's ban was a watershed moment. This is a seismic political event, he said. Inevitably, it's going to reshuffle the pack, particularly on the right. Bardella looks set to become the RN's de facto candidate for the 2027 election, but Le Pen suggested she was not yet ready to hand him the baton. Jordan Bardella is a tremendous asset to the party, she said on TF1. But I'm not going to let myself be eliminated like this. Millions of French people believe in me. Bardella, 29, has helped expand the RN's appeal among younger voters, but experts said he may lack the experience to win over the broader electorate the RN needs to secure victory in 2027. The RN and 24 party figures were also found guilty of diverting European Parliament funds. The party was ordered to pay a €2 million fine, with half the amount suspended. Across Across Europe, governments are cracking down on far-right leaders accused of financial misconduct. Just look at Italy, Germany, Hungary. The pressure is mounting. Is this part of a larger effort to dismantle the far-right's influence? Or is it, as Le Pen claims, just a witch hunt? Le Pen, the leader of the National Rally since 2011, has been allowed to keep her mandate as a member of parliament under a recent ruling. Jordan Bardella succeeded her as party president to focus on the upcoming presidential election. Bardella's popularity has grown rapidly, especially among young people, making him the natural candidate to succeed Le Pen. However, observers argue that Bardella may not convince as many voters as Le Pen, and that his management has been criticized for being too focused on his personal career. So, what happens now? Here's the breakdown. Le Pen is appealing, but can she overturn the ruling? National Rally is in turmoil. Who will rise in her place? Far-right voters are watching. Do they stay loyal, or does this shake their faith? France is bracing for impact. Protests, counter-protests, political chaos. One thing is for sure, this is far from over. We'll be tracking every twist and turn, so if you want the latest, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss an update. What do you think? Is this justice served or political sabotage? Drop a comment below.